Hello and welcome to our brief introduction to the new Ventisim simulation platform for respiratory care. With Ventisim, we've applied the latest advances in educational technology to respiratory care and produced a tablet-based simulation platform that mimics the actions of both a mechanical ventilator and a patient monitor. The Ventisim package includes 2 student tablets for display, the instructor tablet for control, a router that connects all of them, this library of scenarios, and additional patient monitoring devices such as a blood pressure cuff and pulse ox, which add to the realism of the simulation. At the heart of our system are detailed scenarios covering a range of patient situations and a range of age groups from adult to pediatric to geriatric. We use a state-based physiology model, and the library includes detailed information on every state, both correct and incorrect options for the students, and we've simplified it with a graphical navigator. Looking at the instructor side now, we see that we can select our monitor, the screen opens blank, and from here we'd go to the library, select a scenario, load it, and then it would run. If the patient's on the ventilator, the waveforms start automatically. We can move forward using the double arrows through the correct answers. This is our edit screen. It may look complicated, but it is quite simple to operate. This controls both the ventilator and the patient monitor. We operate different parts. The states are clearly identified. We can navigate through them. We can adjust anything on its own and come back to the main area. We also have the option of sending two-way communication to the students. We can send various data such as the patient situation, give them an update on the patient, ask them different questions, send them x-rays. So we have, many options that we can send to the students. Now, based on what the students select, if we give them a question, we can then go and adjust the waveforms and the presentation of the patient. This format's used to the students from the boards. They like it, and it's proven very effective and popular with them. So this just shows the controls, how we would change the waveforms or the display values for the student. The gray box is where we would show the student responses in our two-way communication, and again we can make adjustments on the fly or go off of the pre-programmed scenarios. So there's a lot of flexibility in how you navigate the scenarios, how you create the scenarios, and then another feature that we have is detailed checklists. So what this allows us to do is to, as the scenario is going, not interrupt the scenario, capture students' actions, their decisions, timestamp them, and this would go through the various changes of the patient. Most scenarios are going to have 4 to 5 changes of the patient that need to be responded to. Final summary comments can be added at the end, and this whole can be saved as a Word document and exported. Let's now take a look at the application from the student's point of view. Once the application is launched, they will see a blank screen. They'll also see the physiology screen. And then when the scenario starts, the scenario may start with the patient on the ventilator, in which case the students will see the waveforms and be allowed to interpret them. They'll also see the values. Then they'll be presented with the question options that we saw before, and then based on their choices they'll be asked to input any adjustments to the ventilator. They will manually input that themselves and get the practice on doing that. Then they will apply those changes, and the instructor will then decide did they make the correct choice, the incorrect choice, do we change what's on the screen, does this lead to further discussion? So that is what they are going to see on their end. Another important feature in the student application are custom alarms. So the alarms have preset ranges. The alarm will sound once the scenario escapes from these ranges. This alarm is also applies to the patient physiology monitor. The student can go in, reset the alarm, and monitor the patient that way, just as they would with a real-life scenario or real-life monitor. This was a short intro, and would like to encourage you to visit our website or call us, and we'd be happy to schedule a more detailed webinar with you, and we look forward to hearing from you and answering any of your questions.